Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your one and only host,
the Cosmic Jedi.
Welcome back to my channel.
You didn't see that coming?
It's about time to finish our breakdown and discussion of the Marvel's Secret Invasion.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
I did the editing and I thought there's a few things I missed out. This is why I love taking time to review these shows. I don't want to just do it because everyone else is doing it. I don't like that jumping through hoop stuff. The show came out yesterday, I gotta review it today. I get it. You want to be in the same stream as everyone else who's reviewing the show. You want to be on the same conveyor belts. That's cool. I'm not going to throw shade to anyone else who does it. I prefer to be the one who takes my time. And even some of the YouTubers that I love and I enjoy watching, they too take their time. There's some shows I've seen 2 months ago, and it's just now that a channel that I love is doing their own review of the show. I'm like, oh, you know what? I didn't even realize that he or she hadn't done a review yet. And then I watch the review. I enjoy it. I don't watch it thinking, oh, you should have reviewed it 2 months ago. That's when it was fresh in my mind. Maybe that's just because certain things stick around in my mind. That's me. But I'm glad I took time to review this because there's a few things that came to my mind whilst watching the third video I'd already done. So I thought, no, I'll just reshoot it and do this as a conclusion. I've actually taken notes this time. Just a few things I wrote down just to keep me on track so I don't go all over the place, which I love. I love going all over the place because it allows my mind to jump to different things. What the hell? It allows my mind to jump to different things I've seen so I can do a healthy comparison. When I first started the video, the first episode I dropped down, I was talking about if they had stuck to the same trope of the Invasion of the Body Snatchers or the TV show V, the original and the remake, we would have had a different story at our hands. We would have had a different experience completely. But because they introduced the scroll too early, in my opinion, and the way they chose to introduce the scrolls, in my opinion, in the Captain Marvel movie, that's where they messed themselves up. So we won't go in any particular order. I'm just going to do my best to make sure I stick to these notes. First thing is their drive, desire, and purpose. Like I said in the second video, I'd have loved to see what Skrullos looks like. I'd have loved to see what the planet looks like. Not a glimpse, not where they're fighting and there's no food. No, I'd have loved to see an extensive look, spend more time on the Skrulls planet. Just the same way we saw Thanos' planet, the before and after. In fact, we saw the aftermath, and then when he used the gauntlet to show the before to Doctor Strange, we got to see how it looked like before. That was nice. Short scene. It's a short scene, but you know, his dialogue plus the visuals we got was enough for us to say, oh, I can see why, why he's so adamant and so pressed to get these stones together. And that's somebody who even had enough time to say, don't worry, I'm here to collect the stones, so I'll show you. Hold on, let me just, the other characters or other archetypes who you could have put on screen who are like, I don't really care I don't really care about what you want to see when it comes to Titan. I'm just here for the stones. I'm not going to show you what it looks like. But the way they depicted Thanos' character, it took time. I'll show you what it looked like. And even the planet he went to after he did the snapping thing, it was beautiful to see something other than Earth look so luscious, so rich with plantation. The beauty of our planet is all that we know. So to fathom something else outside of our planet that is similar to our planet, but we can appreciate the differences and uniqueness, to see something so similar to our Earth, just a different planet that is similar to Earth visually. We don't know about the whole landscape, the soil, but it was just nice to see. If they had shown us Skrullos like that, we got to see children playing, we got to see their science, their engineering, their architecture, their food, their soldiers, their politics. Do they even have politics? Do they have kings, queens? How do they live amongst each other? What lessons have they learned? Do they speak one language, multiple languages? Do they have different hieroglyphs? Do they write with their left hands, their right hands? Just different aspects of them as a collective, just so we can buy what we're being sold. For example, the animation on Amazon, Invincible, I think it's called Invincible. And for those who haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it. The story of someone coming from outer space to Earth to then live amongst the human beings, especially when said persons or said beings look like human beings, but their genetic composition is nothing like human beings. For those who've seen that show, the things that were revealed in that show is beautiful, just done well, because we bought into what we're told. We bought into everything, and then when the reveal came, it hit hard, hit well. It's one show introduce as, from point A to B right towards the end. But you can't introduce a particular race of beings, particular species in one way, and then expect us to believe they've now become this way. Those two things don't make sense. You introduce the Skrulls as people who are looking for a place to stay or looking for planets to stay, and instead of dealing with the severity of the snap, we're having to deal with a million Skrulls on Earth. All that doesn't make sense. So I don't understand their drive, their ambition, or their reason. Hating human beings for no reason, I don't get it. What have human beings done to you? Even if it's a small group of humans, your intelligence should tell you it's a small group of humans. You don't just blame the whole collective people and start blowing people up because you had a bad experience with a small group of humans. You don't kill innocent people because some human beings, two, by the way, two human beings, one superpowered, one not. Nick Fury and Captain Marvel promised you to find you a home, as if this is the first time you've been off your planet. Haven't your ancestors, haven't your predecessors had an experience like this? Your ancestors have never been in the position where they had to migrate from place to place, or they've never had to feel outside of, it's just, no, that is bad crap writing. I'm still going to have to watch Captain Marvel. Sticking to my notes, Nick Fury and his wife, the relationship feels odd and rushed to me. Whereas compared to Hawkeye and his wife, that reveal was shocking, especially the time that they revealed it. What the hell, goddamn, that came out of nowhere. Especially at the stage in the movie that revealed. This was Ultron's fight, wasn't it? Ultron's movie? I think it was Age of Ultron. They introduced that Clinton had a wife, and that reveal, I thought Clinton was talking to either Fury or someone else in the SHIELD agency.
Honey, I'm home. Hi.
Not only does he have a wife, he has 2 children. Or was it 3?
This is an agent of some kind.
Gentlemen, this is Laura.
Hi, sweetheart. Hey, buddy.
I think it's 2 children. No, it's 3.
How you guys doing? These are
Look at your face.
smaller agents.
So that was beautiful to see. That's how you do a shocking reveal. And, they kept it up. They'll mention it in dialogue or maybe a few scenes here and there. Natasha might ask him how's the wife, how are the children, just to keep it in the back of our minds that we know this. Whereas Fury, you just don't introduce that he had a wife way before now, this late in the game. Another thing is it needed? Is it necessary? Is it important for us to know Nick Fury had a wife who happens to be a Skrull? And even their relationship, you're a Skrull, you fell in love with someone who's human. Is this the first time a Skrull has dated or bonded with a non-Skrull being in their whole lifetime as Skrulls, as aliens, as these beings? Have they never been with the Kree? Have they never been with Groot's people? Have they never been with people from Gamora's planet? Have they never been with people from Drax's planet? Have they never been with other entities we haven't even seen yet? Have they never been with people who look humanoid like the Eternals, like one of the eternal beings or creatures created by the Celestials? Have they never been outside of their species, that she had to maintain this human? Because if they told us that Nick Fury fell in love with her in her human form and he didn't know she was Skrull until she revealed herself, even that would have been interesting. What would that look like for Nick Fury to realize, well, I've been dating somebody who is not even human? You formed a union and bond over these years. You could have an interesting conversation. You didn't trust me enough to show me your true self. I already knew about the Skrulls when I saw Talos and his family. Why didn't you reveal your true self to me? So even that already sounds wishy-washy. Because he knew they all look green. And was it the thing where he requested or required her, yo, this green thing I'm not too sure about. Can you look like somebody who's about to die? She went to do all that, as she stated in the show. She chose this particular person's face who she knew she was dying. So asked her permission, blah, blah, blah. It's weird. It's a very weird relationship. It's another thing that they threw into the show. I didn't even want to talk about it, but I thought, something to add as well. It's one thing to say why the show is bad, but let me mention other points as well that really, really, really make this show so sour. Then she's asking him, would you truly have loved me if I was my true self? At what point in the relationship did he demand you to maintain your human appearance? Because by her own words, she chose to do that. And that's weird as well, because it's like you're introducing this whole, she's not comfortable in her skin. Yet, there's never been a thing where a mandate saying if you're an alien and you're a shapeshifter, you're running around with your true original form, you will be hunted and killed unless you choose a form of someone else who's died. There's nothing like that. There's never been anything like that. So now I'm thinking of her psyche. Why would you want to look like someone else when the person you love loves you for who you are? Where did that split happen? When and why? It's clear that Fury didn't cause the split, because she told us, as she was telling Fury, indirectly telling us the viewers, it was I who chose this face. I'm going to nitpick right now. Is their skin or their molecular structure so powerful that they can wear any material? Polyester, for example? It'd have been cool if they had little quips here and their little jokes. I miss my Scrollus fabric. This cotton makes me itch. You know? Because apparently they like the cold too. So if they like the cold, then there must be other things that they would prefer rather than what they are now. Like they prefer the cold. I would rather linen than cotton. I prefer silk. Silk feels much better on Skrull's skin. You know? Just little things you could have played around with. So relationship between Nick and the wife, nah, it's strange. There's another line he said.
The only power I have was planted between my ears by a single mother and wrapped around my finger by a woman far greater than I could ever hope to be.
I don't know if I would call her a woman. I thought that was a human thing because she's an alien. She's Skrull. What do they call the female Skrull on Skrullos? She just came and adopted this human thing so quickly. It's strange. It's not that she came in when she was young and then he fell in love with her when they were both in their teens. She was grown when she came here. So she would have at least maybe adopted her culture, kept their tradition, their culture. You've left your planet based on what you've told us. You have nowhere else to go. Surely you'd have held on to certain things that remind you of home. The food, the fruits, the plants, artwork, language, music, your background, your lineage, your very bloodline. So it's a very wishy-washy thing to just introduce, oh look, Skrull and Nick Fury were both dating. How about your legacy? How about your lineage? You didn't even show us that you were struggling with dating a human because you wanted to carry on your legacy, especially after the snapping of Thanos. There was half of you left. And since you're saying the Kree are chasing you and killing you, you're having this a fight with the Kree people. They're killing your people, right? So as a female Skrull, wouldn't something be within you like, yo, it's like there's less of us more and more in the cosmos. I'd rather be with one of my own to replenish the seed, expand. What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm trying to say. Or you've taken a gamble to say, I love this Nick Fury guy, this human. What does it look like with our seeds coming together? Has that ever happened? So there's no mention of that. There's no real deep discussion of seeing two people together that one is Skrull and one isn't Skrull. It'd have been nice to even see, yo, this fight we're having between the Kree and Skrull. In the past, we actually used to have unions between Kree and Skrull. That was a ritual thing where out of all the different species in the cosmos, the Kree are one of the strongest. When you bond the Kree blood and Skrull blood, yo, we're tight. Unions, we were passionate, fiery unions. We all agreed on certain things, only now things have changed. You could have done so much with that. But moving right along, I want to keep to my notes. The Kree, I don't even know who they are. I mean, I know who they are in terms of the first one. Is it Ronan or Ronan in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie? But I guess they're going to expand more on the Kree and their plight and their purpose in the Captain Marvel 2 movie. But it'd have been best to flesh that out in this series. So that way you don't rush this invasion nonsense. Even that doesn't make sense. The invasion doesn't make sense when you are people looking for a place to live. How can you invade a place you have been brought to start as a new home? You can say take over, yes. You're looking for a new home, and the home you've come to stay on, you haven't approached the president. You haven't approached all the superpowers, all the leaders of the world, from Africa to the Caribbean to America, Russia. You haven't approached anyone. You've just come, and there haven't been discussions of what we bring to the quote-unquote table. Technology. I imagine there'll be some nations who'll be like, yes, please come in. Come in. What technology do you have? What if they came with a different mindset? We don't have a home, but we'll make good use of our skills for you. We have skills which we know your planet needs. We can cure diseases, cancer, AIDS, HIV, so on and so forth. Our technology surpasses yours. So even though we're looking for a place to stay, we hope we can cohabitate with human beings. We will improve your engineering skills, your medicine, your medicinal things. They might even come and say you don't even need medicines anymore. There may be human beings or some group of human beings, FBI and CIA or whatever, be like, yo, the money we are getting from what we're doing right now is correct. We don't want you to spoil our program. Then that's probably where Graphic will be like, that's weird. We came bearing gifts and telling you we're going to cure your viruses, and you're like, no, we don't want you to do that. That's off limits kind of thing. It's like, well, we're here to help you with any ailment you have, because after we've grown as a species, we never fall sick. And even whatever planets we go to, our immune system is so sharp that whatever virus is affected, it never affects us. We can create something that can help all human beings. There no longer need to be any problems with women giving birth or deformities or whatever you want to call. No more problems. And then that might give Gravik a little, these human beings are weird. Some of them are strange. We offer them something that could improve their life. We've done tests for years or months even, for example. And tests that shouldn't take so long when it comes to us as Skrulls. On Skrullos, we do tests in 2 weeks? We do tests in the lab, never on our own people, never on animals, in the lab. We run simulations, and then when we're ready, we take some of our own genes and test it, and when it works out, then we release it to the masses. And you put this idea along certain groups of human beings, and they're like, oh, wait, don't rush. We're making too much money for you to just come and spoil our game. Don't rush. That could have been a little talking point as well. For the Skrulls to be like, some of them are stupid. Some of these humans deserve to die. Not all humans deserve to die. They're on the brink of destruction. You can't come from outside. You haven't read any books. Have you studied the whole planet, the origin of the planet, the history of the planet, the rise and fall, the wars, slavery, all the things that have been committed, all the atrocities committed on human beings? Have you seen specific groups of people who are repeating certain things? You can't just group all human beings as if it's all of us. You can't. That shows lack of intelligence. Again, are you an intelligent species or not? Are you a higher intelligent species compared to human beings? Those are little problems. You know, I didn't mention in the first and second one. I was like, you can't sell this invasion based on how you've already introduced the Skrulls in Captain Marvel. So many flaws, so many loopholes, so many errors, so many mistakes. They didn't take time to build. What is your purpose? How do you want the Skrulls to appear? Kind, loving, smart, intelligent. You come bearing gifts, and then you're shunned, or you're taken in and then tricked and then captured, experimented on. Then you develop your anger for human beings. Then you have Taylor saying, not all of them. We were captured by FBI and CIA in America, not Wakanda, not Africa, not Jamaica, not Togo, not Ghana, in America. If you're angry, focus your anger on a particular group of people. Maybe Talos could even look like, hey, I'm pissed with you, but don't take it out on the world. Then that's where Talos and Gravik differ. Gravik would just be like, all of them. I imagine if one is like this, they're all like that. Then I would show his brashness as a young Skrull. Whereas Talos has been here longer than Gravik. It's like, no, not been here long enough. I've studied the history. I've read their records. I've seen the atrocities. I've seen the true and real terrorists. Even the land we're on now, that happens to be America. Certain people that occupy this land aren't the original people. So even all those things you could have implemented. It's like indirectly teaching us, the viewers, about our humanity or inhumane things we've done in the past. And then Talos could also represent the whole, even in our Skrull history, we've done some things that we shouldn't have done. But we've grown, we've advanced. We can teach them better, just like Superman, the Man of Steel version.
You didn't see that coming?